There really weren't. There was probably 2 or 3 incidents there. One of them actually, it was a kid got drunk, and next to this resort, because the resorts are kind of like, you know, house.
Yeah.
You know, they're one ends. There's the next one. And they're all the same. But there was a biker bar that was next to us, like literally right next to us, and so it was off limits and all that. But clearly, you could tell who was Army and who was biker.
Yeah.
You know, and so there was one incident where a kid went over there and was drinking. Now they were nice. The biker guys were nice, and I'm sure they probably knew that the guy wasn't supposed to be there. But he and a couple of his friends were drinking, and they got drunk real fast. And then one of them started being stupid with one of the bikers' girlfriends, because she's, you know, all the tattoos and all that, and so made comments and all that. So we got waved over there by the bikers, and they said, well, you know, either you take care of this clown, or essentially we're going to. So we ended up getting him out of there and getting that all squared away. But that was a very easy gig. We could go inside to the air conditioning. We had free soda, free, you know, snacks. You know, you could play pool, you could do all that inside. We couldn't go swimming, we were on duty, but there were people going swimming, going snorkeling. And the key to that one was when we came back, we all made a pact. We would say how miserable it was, because it was by far the best gig you could possibly have. And so we did that. We ended up doing it. They were going to rotate us on a daily basis, but we lasted a little bit over a week doing it until I forget what happened, but like 1 or 2 of the guys got sent on a different mission, and then we needed 2 subs to come in, and so there were 2 kids not from our squad were with us, and we went down there, and they were like, "What? You know, this is not what you said, you know." And so they squealed and said how great a gig it was. So then we had to give it up, and then they rotated it through everybody. But we got a week out of it, which was pretty good. And then after that, you know, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say you could say another story if you want, or we could wrap up.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, at that point, I think we're 5.5, 6 weeks in. So we were actually wrapping up there anyway. Excuse me. After we got through the R&R patrol stuff, it really was just a matter of wrapping up stuff and then turning it over to the National Guard or whatever. But 6 weeks or so had gone by, and so at that point a lot of progress had been made towards getting the electricity back, you know, and all that. And then actually the Florida State Police, they were awesome. They had a huge party for us right before we left. They had our whole company over to one of these trooper's house, which was unbelievable. He wasn't on the ocean, but he was on, I don't know exactly what it's called, but a contributory little river that goes into the ocean. Yeah. And so he had all the toys. He had the little skidoo things that go out on the water. He had boats. He had a bass fishing boat. He had all this great stuff right at his house. And so a bunch of the state troopers were there. And then we were there, and then it was funny because then they went and they talked to a bunch of us that they had gotten to know during patrols and stuff. And for the Florida State Police, you need to be sponsored by a trooper. You can't just apply. You need to have somebody write for you. And so they had actually all said that they would write for. There were a bunch of us that they said they would support if we wanted to go into the state troopers. And it's not like up in Massachusetts it's a lot harder to get in. In Florida it's not, but a lot of the reason is because the life expectancy is not so good there. They deal with a lot of drugs down there, and if you're pulling people over, it tends to get pretty nasty sometimes. So there was good parts. They all get a Mustang, so they're driving.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, they drive Mustangs down there. But anyway, I decided that that's not the path I was going to go down. But we did have, I think we had 2 kids that did actually end up going into the Florida State Police. That they did support through, and those guys obviously made it through no problem. So, but yeah, and then we drove back.
So, all right, after the 6 weeks, did you change either physically or psychologically?
No, I didn't physically didn't change. It wasn't like there was a mental change. It was just it was incredible destruction. Andrew was a Category 5 hurricane, and at that time, so this is 92. I'm thinking, I don't think there were more than 2. So this was probably the 3rd in recorded history of a Category 5 hitting. It's massive, right? So, I'd obviously never seen anything like that before, and so, driving down, seeing the destruction, that trailer park was unbelievable. You think about a huge, essential trailer park, then just looking like a dump, because everything is just splintered and shattered and thrown just everything within a home is just thrown on like a field, except for the George Jetson bullet trailer. Planes flipped upside down. You think of how heavy a plane is, and to think that there was a sheer force that flipped that upside down is just unbelievable. Trucks, cars, all that stuff. Just the devastation was incredible. So from a mental aspect, I guess there was that awe of like, my God, there's so much destruction. But other than that, no. Ooh, and there was one other story that was actually funny. Just as I was thinking destruction, I was thinking, wow, the wildlife and everything else. There was actually a snake. How gross do we want to get?
Just go ahead.
Okay, then. We were at the Air Force Base, and then we had helped, where we stayed, actually, I should say, was not actually at the Air Force Base for most of the time. It was actually in this old hotel that was essentially a big rectangle, and in the middle of it was like the pool, and all of that had been destroyed. So we had gone, probably the second day we were there, and gutted the entire thing. So we had the entire company go through and gut the entire thing, and then excuse me. What ended up happening was when we were gutting everything, we found this huge python snake, and so it obviously was all messed up. Probably had been a pet, and it had just gotten huge, so they couldn't keep it anymore. So somehow they just let it go. So they so we had that. So we were trying to figure out what to do with this python.
Yeah.
But we had to feed it.
Ah!
And so these guys went, well, this isn't nice, but these guys went and they got some rabbits. And they fed the python, the rabbits. And I wish I'm trying to find these darn pictures, because I had a picture of this python eating this rabbit with just the 2 little legs sticking out. And everything else going right down. Yeah, so that's a python story.
Well, thank you for your time, Dad.
Yeah, well, okay. You don't like the python story.
No.
Okay.
But, yeah, thank you for your time. This will be a fabulous paper/poster.
All right, then.
Bye.
All right.